Hello there Hollows, and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be talking about whether or not I personally think the Armored Core series is back now after the release of Armored Core 6. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Armored Core series has been going since 1997. However, Armored Core 6 is released after a decade-long gap after the previous entry. Historically, the Armored Core series always had, you'd have Armored Core 1 and then another game come out, sort of like almost like another game built on that same engine, utilizing those same mechanics. It's almost like I don't want to say a filler game, because it's not a filler game, but almost like a bridge game between that entry and then the sequel entry. So you have Armored Core 1, then you had Armored Core 1 Project Phantasma and Master of Arena, and then Armored Core 2 then was afterwards, and then you had Armored Core 2 Another Age. Then you had Armored Core 3, followed by Armored Core Silent Line, Nexus. There was a whole lot of ones that came after Armored Core 3. Then you had Armored Core 4, which was followed by Armored Core 4 for Answer. Then you had Armored Core 5, which was followed by Armored Core 5 Verdict Day. And now, after a decade-long break, we have Armored Core 6, which potentially could be followed by another game in this sort of Armored Core 6 sub-franchise, which is sort of like what Armored Core has been doing. It's similar to Final Fantasy, for example, when a lot of times you have a numbered Final Fantasy entry which will then have almost like a sequel or a successor title before the next numbered entry. So you had Final Fantasy X, which was followed by Final Fantasy X-2, similar to Final Fantasy 13, which was followed by Final Fantasy 13, and then 13 Lightning Returns. Those were the Final Fantasy 13 sub-series, and then you had the next numbered entry which came afterwards. Armored Core is a bit similar to that in a way, but I don't think they are as similar in that they're not connected from a story standpoint. The sequel entries, I don't think, although I'm not certain about that because I'm not completely familiar with all of the previous Armored Core entries. So the main thing which I'm thinking about here is, will Armored Core 6 end up seeing a sequel or a successor title in this Armored Core 6 sub-franchise before a potential Armored Core 7 in the future? Because I know Bandai Namco have recently been saying that they really do think Armored Core 6 has been a massive success and it has brought back the Armored Core franchise, and they are interested in doing more with the franchise. The main thing that I'm wondering about here, though, is will From Software want to do, well, are they interested as well? Will they want to do more entries? That's the main thing which I think is up for question here, because Armored Core 6 was a fantastic game. It is one of my favourite games of all time. It's definitely my favourite game which is released this year, although I'm currently playing Starfield, and that is quite good as well. I'm enjoying that. So it's definitely my favourite game that's released this year, and if I did see another Armored Core game, which might come out next year or maybe even the year after, I would want it to be of a similar quality to Armored Core 6. That's the thing. Now, I could potentially see From Software, under the direction of the person who directed Armored Core 6, which was directed by Masasuri Yamamura, I wouldn't mind seeing him do another entry in the Armored Core series. He clearly knows what he's doing. However, Armored Core 6 obviously was overseen by Hidetaka Miyazaki at the beginning of its development. It seems like he sort of, gave the reins to Masasuri Yamamura more towards the end of its development. So I'd be really interested in seeing what Masuru would do with another entry if it came out maybe next year, similar to Armored Core Verdict Day, how it came out a year after Armored Core 5, or similar to For Answer, how it came out just a couple of years after Armored Core 4. I'd be interested in seeing another one under this 6 subcategory, potentially, assuming that it is of the same standard of quality that we saw here with Fires of Rubicon. Thing is, I think Verdict Day, it's almost like an expansion of Armored Core 5 from what I've seen previously. For Answer was more its own thing from what I've seen. I haven't played any of these games, but that's just going on what I've seen, footage I've seen, and what I've heard other people talking about those games. So I think I would like to see something similar with Armored Core 6. However, it also could be maybe they'll just do DLC instead, because that's more the standard that From Software have set with recent entries. Maybe we'll end up just seeing a big expansion for Armored Core 6, which I would definitely be okay with as well, because I do think Armored Core 6 needs more content, in my personal opinion, because I don't think it has enough content to keep people invested for very long after your second or your third playthrough. So I do definitely think this game needs a bit more, but I would personally like to see another game as well. So I'd be interested in seeing what you lot think down in the comments below. And do you think we'll end up seeing an Armored Core 7 after this? Or do you think maybe the next Armored Core 6 subcategory game will be developed by a different studio, like that sometimes happened with previous Armored Core entries? I know From Software is definitely the big company of Armored Core, and people only really want to see From Software developing Armored Core games. But if Bandai Namco have said they want more Armored Core games, and if From Software aren't willing to do that, there is a chance that we might end up seeing other developers take on the reins of the Armored Core franchise. So let me know what you think will happen down in the comments below. What would you like to see as well? Are you still playing Armored Core 6, or have you sort of lost interest in it after a couple of weeks since it's come out now? For those who follow my channel, apologies I haven't made a video in the last 6 days. I've been very, very, very busy. I've had loads of things to do. I've been preoccupied with lots of stuff, but again, there's more videos that are going to be coming very soon. I'm going to be covering The Lies of P when that comes out next week, the 19th of September that comes out. I'll be doing an initial impressions video on that, and I'm going to see what people are thinking of it. If the game was good, I'm going to hopefully cover it a bit more on the channel, similar to what I did with Armored Core 6, and hopefully some of you will be up for seeing that. I'm also going to be doing videos on Blasphemous 2. The only issue with that is it's sort of past the window of it being very relevant now, because unfortunately it came out just before Armored Core 6. It came out the day before Armored Core 6, which I just think was a silly decision from the developers, because it is in that Souls-like category, and Souls fans are going to play Armored Core 6. But anyway, we'll see. I know you've expressed on the channel in a poll that I did that you want to see Blasphemous content. I'm going to try and provide that. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, maybe share if you enjoyed it. If it was good enough, thank you again for watching. This is Sol signing out. Have a good one.